Elder fraud is a growing problem in our community, and according to the Tippecanoe County prosecutor, 80 to 90% of these crimes go unreported.
Well, tonight, News 18's Samantha Tiki explores the growing problem and takes a look at how these criminals are preying on the elderly right here in Tippecanoe County.
More than 43 million Americans are age 65 or older, and although they may not know it, they've become prime targets for what some call the crime of the 21st century.
I got ripped off.
I called the police. This guy is really taking advantage of me.
Lafayette residents Ron Getz and James Sattler have one thing in common. Both men say they are victims of elder fraud. Getz and Sattler allegedly paid 38-year-old Eric Farrell for home improvements that were either not completed or not wanted.
He kept telling me, why I was going to have to do some of the things that he wanted to do there.
Oh, he lied and lied and lied about things.
70-year-old Getz, who asked we not show his face on camera, says in the fall of 2012 he paid Farrell $5,500 to remodel his garage. After changing his mind, he says he called Farrell and claims he agreed to give Getz a refund. Getz says that was the last time he spoke to Farrell.
We got ripped off, I believe. This guy won't answer or anything, and I lost money.
91-year-old James Sattler says he hired Farrell to do a few jobs around his home earlier that same year, but he says Farrell kept insisting Sattler do more work. Sattler says he felt Farrell was his friend and, according to court documents, gave Farrell $3,500 for a surgery he says never happened. Sattler says Farrell took advantage of his generosity.
He gave the impression that he knew more about this house than I did.
Tippecanoe County Prosecutor Pat Harrington says cases of elder fraud like Getz and Sattler's are becoming common.
They're exploiting that sense of loneliness and being trusting, and they know how to do it because they're professionals at exploitation and taking the person's money.
Harrington says most of the time the financial exploitation goes unreported until it's too late. But home improvement fraud is just one of many different ways the elderly are exploited financially. Harrington says common perpetrators of elder financial exploitation are in-home healthcare workers.
So that's their whole world. They trust them. They have developed a one-on-one relationship, so it's very easy for the defendant to turn that and exploit them.
Harrington says building trust with the victim is how the con artists are able to commit their crimes, but the crime doesn't always take place in person. Sometimes all it takes is one phone call.
That phone is the lifeline for the elderly, and that's how these con artists get into their home.
Harrington says criminals easily convince the victim they've won the lottery, but can't collect their winnings until they pay a fee or taxes. And sometimes it's as simple as someone pretending to be a family member asking for money.
And these are pros on the other line. These are professional con artists. And once they get the first money wired to them, they just keep calling back.
Harrington says most of the time all the criminals need to do is gain their victims' trust. That's a lesson Getz and Sattler say they learned the hard way.
I don't know how you handle that sort of situation. You really should learn to know people.
Yeah, just be real careful who you talk to anymore.
Farrell faces 6 felony charges after Harrington says he defrauded several elderly people out of tens of thousands of dollars. He was arrested on a warrant in November, but is now out on bond, and a jury trial is scheduled for April. More information on the many ways criminals are committing elder fraud is available on our website, WLFI.com. Wednesday on News 18 at 6, I'll tell you how local agencies are helping to fight elder fraud in our community and what people should look for to avoid becoming victims. Samantha Tiki, News 18.